Jai Bholenath, happy MahaShivratri to all of you. Love, light, health, happiness to all of you in the highest possible form, wherever you're watching from in the world. And before we begin, I've been getting the sage on, so on this occasion I wish to sage all of you with positive energy, clearing any doubt, negativity, fear. All are useless. What is useful is the night of MahaShivratri. Now I want to begin in very simple form to define what is MahaShivratri and how we can apply certain sadhana in this modern world, even in the most simple forms as well. You don't have to do so many rituals and so much prayer, but it's very important to understand where this prayer is coming from. Is it actually something that you are doing as an expectation, or is it something you're doing in fear? Because today religion has had a very, very derogatory definition, because sometimes when we say religion, people either get fearful, people either are expecting something in return. But that is not religion, that is extortion in the modern ways. But today I want to elaborate on MahaShivratri. Firstly, let's define Shiva. Now, when I say Shiv Tattva, yesterday I was doing a podcast and I was asked, what is meditation? And in the simplest ways, I explained that meditation is not something you do. Meditation is a state of being. Meditativeness is something that is grown from within. In the same way, Shiv Tattva is a state of being, state of your consciousness to connect with universal energy. And it is capable within all of us to do so. Now, let me explain that in order to feel this meditativeness, in order to feel Shiv Tattva, one has to cultivate their mind, the body, the emotions, and the energy that they have. If you can cultivate this to a certain level of awareness, of preparation, then you will experience meditativeness. So in simple ways, if we look at a flower, and for a flower to grow, it must have the right soil, it must have the right sunlight, it must have the right water, the atmosphere, and naturally then flowers grow. Whether there are no limitations that a flower has, it does not compare itself to one another. They just grow, they just bloom when they have to. And in the same way, you have this meditativeness that can bloom within you. Now, if I explain to you, how do you do certain practices on MahaShivratri? How do you cultivate your mind? How do you cultivate your body? How do you cultivate your energy and your emotions? And this is what I'll explain in a very simple way in this video. Firstly, we must understand that MahaShivratri, why is it so significant? In scientific form, it is when the sun is the furthest away from Earth. So we call it the darkest night of the year. Now the beauty of this is that even though it may be dark in the atmosphere, the darkest night, the light within you has the most powerful capability to rise, to shine, because the cosmos, the planets are aligned in certain ways that you are receptive. Whether you're religious or not, we are all affected by planets in certain ways. In astrology, we always have this explanation that, you're running under this planet at this particular time in your life. That's why these certain situations happened. Some people are ignorant to it, some people believe it fully. And I always say keep a balance of everything. And in this case, MahaShivratri being the darkest night of the year. So coming back to what practices I do as well, and what practices you can do at home. And the other part of the explanation of why Shiv Tattva is so important, and especially on this night, is that naturally for those who practice Kundalini meditation, for those who are aware that we have chakras within our energy system, and the first most practical important sadhana to do on this night is to keep the spine erect, is to keep the spine upwards. Now, and to stay alert for an entire night. So MahaShivratri happens 8th of March till the 9th of March in the morning. So today being the 7th of March, there are certain sadhanas or practices you can do that I will explain further. But firstly, it is important to understand why is this cosmic energy aligned in certain ways and how do we get affected by it. When we talk about Kundalini meditation, we naturally think that our meditation, our Shakti energy, the life energy, the Kundalini energy, starts from the Muladhara chakra, which is the root chakra. And naturally, if you practice certain yogic practices, pranayam, this energy rises through all the other 7 chakras. And we actually have 114 in our body, but primarily we go into 7 of them. Now, starting from the root, the Shakti energy, when it rises, and it takes certain time and practices, daily practices to do this. And the Shakti energy rises, and the biggest aspiration for all yogis is to meet with Shiva energy. So Shiva energy starts from top to down, and Shakti energy rises from bottom to up. And when they meet, that is when you say a cosmic union has happened. Shiva Shakti is within you. Shiv Shakti energy vibrates within you, and that is when you become a fully fledged human being. You maximize your potential, because when you have that awareness that to embrace your feminine and masculine nature, the Shiv Shakti, you will naturally be destined to achieve whatever you wish. And now I want to explain that on MahaShivratri, what happens is that we have a certain point at the top of our heads called the Brahmarandra, or even the Bindu, which is further here. And on MahaShivratri, the cosmos are aligned in such a way that Shiva's energy naturally goes through the Brahmarandra and meets Shakti. So it's from top to bottom, when naturally 364 nights of the year we are trying to raise Shakti to meet Shiva from bottom up. So it's much easier on this night to align yourself with meditative practices. Even if you're not spiritual in any way, just take time to realize, reflect upon which direction are you moving in life, how are you moving in life, and what is the ways that you can even further become more capable as a fully fledged human being. And that is why it is important to meditate on this night, to adopt certain practices. And now coming back to my personal experience on the February 17th, 2015, I remember this occasion clearly because it was my first time fasting during MahaShivratri. And during MahaShivratri, when I kept that fast, I woke up the next morning and in tears, and it was a wonderful feeling because I felt that a new door had opened, a door into some other channel or vibration had opened. When I speak to people, I could see colors, and this is what I invoke in my Reiki practice. Wherever I see colors, I can also feel blockages within you, and when I speak to you more, I can tell you many insights about you just by speaking to you. And people who have spoken to me in person already realize this, and this will only grow stronger. But I had that capability. I felt that door open for me on the morning of that MahaShivratri. So the next morning, on February 17th, I kept that fast, and February 18th, when I completed that fast and fed the animals around me before I ate, I just felt a different vibration, a different energy had opened for me, a different portal, a dimension had opened. And this dimension is accessible to everyone. We all have that intuitive capability. And from then on, I can say, yes, I have become a psychic. I use astrology to guide my ways of life as well. So now coming back to MahaShivratri, which is happening on the 8th of March till the 9th of March, I want to point out certain things that you can do, and not everyone would be able to do this, completely understand. You can do what is capable in your ways or in your practice. Firstly, the aspect of fasting. Now, why is fasting so important in this way? Now, some of you may be aware of the 5 koshas. 5 koshas that we have. The first kosha, the body that we have, is the first kosha, the physical presence. And when we fast, we are naturally more lighter. And that is why when I feel that my deepest meditations have happened after a 24-hour fast, after a 36-hour fast, and that's where I feel completely light, completely able to focus my energy on that deeper realization, on the deeper spirit, the soul connection. But if you're, if you're eating full meals on the night of MahaShivratri, you'll feel quite heavy, and it's like you're climbing a mountain, and those who fast basically climb the mountain with no excess baggage. But those who have eaten full meals and they're trying to meditate, it's like you are carrying rocks in a bag and climbing up the mountain. There's a difference, right? So even that's why I always meditate first thing in the morning when the bowels are clear, and that is when I have the most serene, the most intuitive, the most powerful meditations. So this is the one thing you can do, is fast. Now what time you should fast and how you should fast, I will share my experience. So I fast starting on the 7th of March, which is tonight. At 7 p.m. I'll have my last meal. I'll finish my meal by 7 p.m. and then I will go till the next morning, have a bath, and only have water. And I know some who don't even have water, who don't even have anything, but that's okay. That's up to you to do. My collection is that you can have water, and with the water, because if you take water alone, it really won't hydrate you properly. That's why it's very important to have some electrolytes with your water, or some salt with your water, Himalayan pink salt with your water, and that clears your energy. It gives you more energy as well in the day. And then when you are ready to, you'll fast for the whole night. So in total, it'll be 36 hours fast. Next morning, when you see the sunrise, that is your cue to break the fast. But before you break your fast, it is very important to offer some food to other living beings, like your animals, even birds. If you put rice or grains on your balcony or windowsill for the birds to eat. I've got 3 pets, so I'm sorted. I will feed them first before feeding myself to break your fast. Now, coming to the actual sadhana of MahaShivratri during the night. Now I can separate these into 4 parts. The first is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. where I would practice the meditation techniques, pranayam. Now I won't go into exact sadhana because I have my own sadhana that I do for MahaShivratri, but what I will share is a basic practice that will still get you that feeling of Shiv Tattva. So 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I ensure I put the Ganga Jal on the Shivling that I have, and main thing is to meditate during each of these 4 periods. The next period is 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. Then it's 12 a.m. and 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. and 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. So those are the 4 parts. The most important is 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. or 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's the most crucial part of MahaShivratri, because that is when the cosmos are aligned in such a way where you can experience Shiv Tattva so easily when you're in meditation. Now the next important part is to always keep your spine erect throughout the whole night, and you have to stay awake all night. That's why it is known as Jagran. So if you stay awake all night, ensure that your spine is erect. And this is because the Shiv energy, the cosmic energy vibes, they enter through the Brahmarandhra. So the top of the head to the bottom, the Sahasrara chakra is associated with Brahmarandhra, where all humans are receptive to cosmic energy. And that is why it is so important to keep yourself upright, because if you lay down, then that does not count. If you lay down, watch movies all night, that is not Jagran. And if you are out there partying in Lang Kwai Fong and thinking you're doing Jagran that night, no, it does not work that way as well. Because what works, as I said before in the earlier part of the video, is that you have to cultivate your mind, your body, your energy and emotions. Now, let me touch on, I've covered how you can cultivate your body, which is through fasting, keeping it light. Next is your emotions and your mind. the thoughts. This is where there are so many limitations that we have as human beings, so many tests that we have as well, before you can experience Shiv Tattva. So how do you, go about going past these limitations of the mind and the emotions? Whatever has been happening recently in your life, whether you are experiencing this alone or whether you are experiencing some low vibration frequencies like jealousy, fear, anger, lust, greed, whatever it is, those have been lower. This is your night to pause, reflect, reset all those vibrations. Realize this, that emotions, thoughts, they're only temporary. They are only like clouds, as I've said numerous times. Don't get absorbed into them, because you are not anger, you are not frustration, you're not jealousy. You are beyond that. And if you can see that those are only like clouds hanging over you for a very temporary time, they will pass. If you can realize that, you are meditative. You are in a meditative frequency. So to get to that way, I will share a very simple practice you can do during these 4 intervals of the night. First practice is to stabilize your third eye energy, the Agna chakra. A lot of people think you have to do practice of the Muladhara first, but if you do the Muladhara and rise above, you may invoke energy that is unable to be contained, or you are not able to manage this Shakti that is raised, because you will have to have both energies combined to create that meditative experience. But if you invoke Muladhara, and it can invoke a lot of unwanted frequencies or energy within you. That is why it is very important to stabilize in the mind. That is why sometimes when people talk to me about spirituality, they say, oh, people can turn mad sometimes, people can turn, they have some psychiatric issues. That is because they are unable to contain that energy. They are unable to manage how the Shakti has rised. And on this night in particular, I'll share very simple 3 practices that you can do throughout the night. And it's very simple to do. So the first practice is to stabilize the Agna chakra. It's through a technique called Tratak. Now Tratak is where you are simply looking at the candle, the flame of the candle. Keep it at a distance. You can also do this with a Shivling itself. And all you have to do is just maintain your eye gaze at the candle and slowly eliminating the noise around you, accepting all the noise, accepting every part of the universe as it has happened. All you have to do is focus your gaze, your energy on the flame of the candle. And slowly, as you're focusing without blinking, you will be able to split the candle in two areas, in 2 images. Once the candle is split in 2 images, keep your gaze there. And as you are focusing on the candle, realize the values that the candle has, the light it brings, the hope. Where there is darkness, there is light, and you signify that with this candle. And do this for about 10 to 15 minutes, this practice itself. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes. Imagine now the flame of the candle here, stabilizing, invoking positivity. And then put your hands both in Gyan Mudra, like this, on your lap and facing upwards. And the next practice, as you are visualizing the flame of the candle, the next practice is taking a deep breath. But this breath is different because it is the Ujjayi breath, what is known as the life breath. When I take an inhale, it'll be through the nose, but I can feel the sensation at the back of the throat. And I want you to just feel that the breath is coming upwards from Shakti energy, from Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, and it is coming all the way to Vishuddhi, Agna Chakra, Sahasrara. And as you exhale, you are bringing the energy slowly back down from Shiva energy all the way down. And as you are inhaling, you want to feel Shivo. And as you exhale, you want to feel hum. So Shivo, hum. And not necessarily reciting it, but feeling the words within you. So as I inhale, I'm going to feel that's the second part of your meditative practice. So the main importance is to feel Shivo as you're increasing, rising, inhaling. Make sure you feel the sound that we just did at the back of the throat. And as you exhale, hum. Shivo, hum. And do it slowly as you're exhaling. And after that practice, you can do it for a period of 10 to 15 minutes again. And after that, I normally do the mantra jap. Now, it is important that I show you how to do this mantra jap, because you will hold the bindu, the top of the beads, with your middle finger and the thumb. And as you're doing mantra jap, you will go through clockwise. And it's very important to begin with 3 ohms at the top, and also if you can say a Ganesh mantra as well to begin the cycle of japa, it'll be great. So like Om Jai Ganeshaya Nama, Om Jai Ganeshaya Nama, Om Jai Ganeshaya Nama, Om Gangan Pataye Namaha, Om Gangan Pataye Namaha, Om Gangan Pataye Namaha. Either one of those 3 times, and then just rotate. Now a lot of people, say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. But we have to realize that this is a night where Shiv Shakti are in union, and that is why I say Om Namah Shakti Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. And as you get to this point, then you can rotate it again and go the other way. So how many ever japas you can do? 108 in one round. And why is it important to say Om Namah Shakti Shivaya? Because without Shakti, there is no Shiva. And without Shiva, there is no Shakti. And that is why it's very important to bring both the union of male and feminine in one mantra. And this is why you can invoke those same energies within you. And it's important to do it on this night because we celebrate the union of Shiva and Mata Parvati. So that explains the sadhana. Most important is if you have a Rudra Puja, that'll be great as well. If you can do Rudra Puja, then that's great. But I know that not many can maybe have that ability, but most important is you can also visualize. After you do the japa, you can visualize Mansa Abhishek. So you can do it with your mind, that you can visualize a shivling and you are offering it Belpatra, you are offering it jal, you're offering it milk, offering it honey. That is also significant. That is also okay. And most important also to realize is that when you're doing these rituals, it should be done out of love and devotion, no expectations. Because if you have no expectations, if you have no requests, then you are coming out of a space of abundance. You are praying from a space of abundance. If you are praying like a beggar, coming from an area of lack, oh, I want this in my life, oh, why is this not happening? You will continue to be in that cycle. So it makes sense to pray from a space of abundance. If you're having trouble feeling that abundant energy, just place your hand on the heart. Reflect on what you have in today that makes your heart smile, makes your heart dance. Whether you have a beautiful relationship, whether you have a beautiful family, whether you have food on the table, whether you have a roof over your head, so many reasons to feel thankful and come from this area. You can only amplify it if you practice the feeling from the heart, amplified to what you already have, the gratitude with what you already have. That is also the essence of being in a meditative state. So I wish you utmost happiness, prosperity, success, and whatever may come. Life will always keep going. It won't stop when you sleep. Life just keeps going, and you have to go with the waves. And at times you have to also know that you are doing brilliant just the way you are. And what can amplify your experience in life is to be open to all possibilities. Never fear what may come. Always look at it with a child's mind, like a child is looking at it with curious eyes, curious nature. And only then you will be open to learning new things, new experiences. So I don't call this religious at all. I call it a way of life. I call it a way of being. That is how you can connect with your ancestors, ancestral medicine to the modern world. And if you have an open mind to have these experiences, your life will be more ritual, will be more enriching in many, many ways. It'll be abundant in so many ways too. So in saying that, happy MahaShivratri to all of you. May you be successful, abundant, and if any questions arise, please feel free to leave comment, and